Day 4 of football at the Olympic Games brought us the second group stage rounds of the women's side of the draw, and there are some absolute stunning results in here. One in particular is just ridiculous. I'm looking at the scoreline now, I cannot believe that happened, but it did. But we'll get into all that in my review of Day 4 at the Olympic Games. So let's start with the games that are on first. Let's do it in the order. Actually, no, let's do it in the group order. Let's go with Group A first. So Canada against France. Wow, I mean, so obviously Canada were in a lot of hot water. Their coach, their assistant manager, and their analyst have all been kicked out of the games basically, and also banned from any kind of footballing activity for the next year. But despite that, and despite going 1-0 down and being comfortably the second best side in most of the game, they managed to beat France 2-1. They came back in incredible fashion. They didn't give up. Fair play to them. Maybe that points deduction has given them a bit of a more of a, impetus to kind of go for it, They had nothing to lose at that point, pretty much. I said before these games that they had to win this match to realistically have any chance of going through, but they have a realistic chance of going through. I'll just cover the Group A game first before I go into the table and all the permutations there. But yeah, Colombia got a relatively comfortable 2-0 victory against New Zealand. So yeah, it's Colombia top the group on 3 points. They are joint with France also on 3 points. Canada are on 0 points. Remember, they have won both of their games, but of course they have that 6-point deduction, and New Zealand also have 0 points as well. Canada genuinely have a chance of going through to the quarterfinals though. If they finish third in the group, they still have a chance because Australia and Brazil are currently in third place in their respective groups in Group B and C. They're both on 3 points as well. Australia has a negative goal difference though, so if Australia loses their final game and Canada wins theirs against New Zealand, which is definitely possible given that Canada have done so well so far and New Zealand haven't, it's definitely possible that Canada could go through. Despite all the controversy around their team, they could genuinely make it into the quarterfinals. But as it stands right now, they still need to win against New Zealand, so we'll see what happens in the final group game with that. On to Group B next. This is the game that I couldn't believe the scoreline for. Australia beat Zambia, which you may not be surprised to hear, but the scoreline was 6-5. It was an 11-goal thriller. Zambia probably heading out of the World Cup, of the Olympic Games, but I tell you what, they've absolutely given it a go. Fair play to them. Australia with a vital win there, and they draw level on points with Germany because Germany lost 4-1 against the USA. The USA having a very poor showing in the Women's World Cup last year, but they are back with a vengeance at the Olympic Games. That is a very, very big win against one of the favourites for the tournament, one of the best sides in Europe and the world. So yeah, so Group B, we have the USA on 6. They are pretty much through with that. Colombia also pretty much through in their group in Group A too. Didn't mention that. Germany and Australia both level on points with 3 each, and Zambia on 4. So in 4th place on no points whatsoever. They're probably heading out, unfortunately, with that. And the last group, Group C, we saw Japan against Brazil. Now, I think I backed a draw in this one. 2 really good sides, but Japan managed to edge it in the end. A 2-1 victory for them against Brazil. That is a huge win for them. They really needed that. That has propelled them up to 2nd in the group. They are behind Spain, though, because Spain managed a narrow 1-0 victory against Nigeria. That goal came down to a free kick from a position where really you should be crossing. They managed to actually go for goal, and Spain won the game because of that. I must admit, the goalkeeper has to do better with that one. It didn't look particularly good from her point of view, but nevertheless, a goal is a goal. Spain win that match, and Nigeria on no points, bottom of their group, and Japan and Brazil both on 3. So yeah, like I said, the top 2 third place sides do go through. It's all to play for with that. USA, Spain, and Colombia pretty much through in their groups, but stranger things happen. So we'll see what happens in the final group games, which are taking place on Wednesday. And of course, in the meantime, we'll be previewing the men's side of the draw too, because the final group games for those are on Tuesday. So the video for that will be out later this day. So yeah, guys, there we go. Second group stage side for the women's side of the draw in the Olympics. What do you think about it? Let us know in the comments below. What was your highlight game? It has to be Australia against Zambia, doesn't it? 6-5, ridiculous. And of course, keep it tuned to thefootballchronicle.com to see much more video content on football just like this.